Fortress is a versatile and powerful card. Easy to bring out thanks to its special summoning condition, and has two forms of disruption if your opponent tries to get rid of it. The only way to out a Fortress without losing something is to use a spell or trap to remove it, or use non-targeting removal. And while this can happen, it's not exactly common, especially back in the day. Your opponent only had so many dark holes in their deck to cleanly answer Fortress. This matters even more thanks to how easy it is to bring Fortress back over and over. An easy way to get Fortress into play consistently is to use a card like Machina Gearframe to either add it or Machina Force to your hand. Gearframe is mostly an 1800 attack normal summon that adds a Machina monster on normal summon, and Force's effects aren't super relevant here. The important thing is that it's a level 10 monster, meaning it fulfills the requirement of Fortress on its own. Once you have a single Fortress in rotation, every copy of Force represents a one-way card to reborn it. An example of one way to get Fortress to play over and over. It's never been that difficult to do, and forcing your opponent to out a Fortress several times can drain them of resources quickly. This strategy has gotten a lot worse over time as the game has just gotten faster. Fortress has remained easy to summon, but summoning it is way more resource intensive than other ways of bringing up material for extra deck summons if that's what you really want. And targeted destruction has become a much worse effect over time. The hand rip is good, but decks have gotten far more ways to get around Fortress's downside as the game has moved. And if you really need to, you can easily just play out most of your combo and then use something like Crispy Little Knight to banish it forever, and let them rip a card you don't need out of your hand. This is another card that has received a lot of support over the years, with cards like Machina Ruin Force being released to support the archetype, but they've only really seen very occasional play in other, better decks, rather than making Machinas competitive. If Fortress was just a little more proactive, it might see play even to this day. But the fact that all of its effects wait for your opponent to do something means it's just too easy to play around in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! And at number 6, we have Light and Darkness Dragon. This is a level 8 Light Dragon with 2800 attack and 2400 defense. It is the effect where it's also Dark Attribute while it's on the field. It cannot be special summoned, and once per chain, when a player activates a spell, trap, or monster effect, it loses exactly 500 attack and defense to negate that activation. When this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can target one monster in your graveyard, destroy all monsters you control, then special summon that target. This effect has to activate, even if you have no valid targets to special summon back with it. So anytime Light and Darkness Dragon is destroyed, your entire board gets wiped. This isn't that bad though, because Lad, as it was called, was one of the best boss monsters around when it was printed. This was far before Omni Negates were more common. So being able to negate every card in the game was a huge draw for Lad back then. The restriction on special summoning the card didn't hold the card back too much either, as there was plenty of ways to fill the board with tribute fodder from Lad. The main deck that popularized Lad is Frog Monarch, a deck that used the powerful frog monsters like Swamp Frog to send Treeborn Frog to the grave to bring it back into survival effect, getting them unlimited tribute fodders for the likes of monarchs such as the previously mentioned Caius, as well as Light and Darkness Dragon. Once Lad came down, it became very difficult for your opponent to play, but not impossible, because Light and Darkness Dragon is mandatory, as well as the fact that it loses attack every time it gets its effect. Your opponent could often just throw 2 cards they didn't mind getting negated at it to reduce its attack down to a more manageable 1800, and then simply normal summon a higher attack monster to destroy it. However, this does require wasting 2 cards, and if Lad is your only monster on the field, its destruction effect will at least allow you to keep up a board after your opponent finally deals with it. This is all to say that your opponent will almost always end up in a far worse spot than you are once they do finally out your Light and Darkness Dragon. And since they have very limited ways to work around it, makes Lad a very powerful option. And follow the plan that's all. and the rest of the light source ended up falling off over time. There are a lot of reasons for this, but two stick out above the others. For one, the speed of the game made Judgment Dragon's effect less desirable over time. More and more decks had cards that either couldn't be destroyed or just had floating effects of some kind, meaning that destroying the field was far less helpful than it used to be. Yes, you could blow up the field multiple times in a row, but if your opponent's monsters just couldn't be destroyed, then that didn't matter. Decks became more resilient to these kinds of effects and became better at punishing slow starts, which leads to the second issue with the card, which is that its summoning condition became a lot worse over time as well. While filling your graveyard with 4 different light swords isn't that hard, it's difficult to do that in a single turn, which makes summoning Judgment Dragon early on pretty difficult. Sometimes you'll need your Judgment Dragon to be able to crack an opponent's board, but just won't quite be able to bring it out yet. Whereas if you were just trying to use a card like Black Rose Dragon, or one of the Nightmares, or any other more recent extra deck monster for your removal, you wouldn't be having this problem. The ability to do a lot of damage out of nowhere also doesn't really matter anymore, now that basically every deck can OTK. So just about every advantage that Judgment Dragon used to have has slowly been power corrupted to irrelevancy. Still, the card isn't that far away from being good. If the destruction effect was a quick effect, for instance, then this would be an insane card that people would try to make work despite being clunky by today's standard. Because a Zeus you can use 7 times is kinda crazy. Making it an extra deck monster that you didn't have to draw might also be enough to make it a strong option in the current meta. Judgment Dragon isn't a bad card. It's just not really something you can afford to be playing in the modern day. And at number 4, we have number 34 Utopia. This is a rank 4 Light Warrior Xyz monster with 2500 attack and 2000 defense. It can be summoned with any 2 level 4 monsters, and it has the effect where you can detach an Xyz material from it to negate an attack. However, if it's targeted for an attack while it has no materials, it destroys itself. This was the poster child of the Xyz era, and it had a very interesting history. At first, this was just a good card to summon. 2500 attack on a generic rank 4 was quite high, and negating attacks meant that it was very difficult to outfight battle, a combination of effects which made it extremely powerful early on. So powerful in fact that it actually did need that downside to help balance it out at first. Of course, this would slowly get power crept to the point where generic rank 4s were allowed to do a lot more than Utopia did, with cards like Evil Swarm Excited Knight and Timekeeper Doer having much more powerful effects than Utopia, and no real downsides besides their attack stats if you really want to stretch it. To help Utopia catch up, and also because it was the protagonist's ace monster in the anime, Konami gave Utopia a ton of upgrades to help keep it relevant. We got cards like number S39 Utopia the Lightning, which can be ranked up directly over normal Utopia, in addition to locking your opponent out of activating effects during battle. If it was ranked over Utopia, it can detach 2 materials to set its attack to 5000 for that battle. This made Utopia a strong form removal for a period of time, able to beat over almost anything that could be destroyed by battle for the low cost of 2 level 4 monsters, and a few slots in your extra deck. There was also number 39 Utopia Double, which was a bit of a gimmicky OTK, but it at least saw some experimentation and some tops. This card allows you to detach material from it to add a double or nothing from your deck to your hand, then immediately rank it up into another Xyz monster. Then you would double that monster's attack, but it can't attack directly this turn. You would go to normal Utopia to have it gain 5000 attack. However, you would then actually use Utopia's effect to negate its own attack, which would meet the activation requirement of double or nothing. This quick play spell card's effect can activate only when a monster's attack is negated, and allows that monster to attack again this turn, but its attack is doubled during damage calculation. So this allowed you to attack an opponent's monster for 10,000 attack, which was more than enough to OTK in most situations. Still, this did require playing a card in your deck that you never want to draw, and it took up a lot of extra deck space, so this was never that popular. Still, these rank-up gimmicks kept Utopia relevant for a while, but eventually even these improved versions of the card fell off. There's simply better generic removal and OTK potential in the extra decks nowadays, so Utopia is largely unnecessary. While it isn't seeing much play anymore, Utopia did hold on to some competitive relevance for far longer than most would have expected. And at number 3, we have number 17, Leviathan Dragon. This is another classic Xyz monster, being a rank 3 water dragon with 2000 attack and 0 defense. It requires any 2 level 3 monsters, and once per turn, you can detach a material from the card to have it gain 500 attack. However, if it has no Xyz materials attached to it, it can't attack directly. Essentially, this is either a 2500 attack monster, or a 3000 attack monster that can't attack directly, which you can summon with any 2 level 3 monsters. At a time when Utopia was a good enough Xyz monster to play consistently, you can imagine that a monster that could so easily get Blue Eyes White Dragon stats had a place in the game. At the end of the day, being able to beat over your opponent's monsters still is quite a powerful option in Yu-Gi-Oh! And cards that excelled at doing exactly that had a place in the game for a very long time. Leviathan Dragon was one of the best in this category for a long time. During the early Xyz era, and for quite a long time afterwards, any deck that was capable of putting multiple level 3 monsters on field at once was at least considering playing Leviathan Dragon as one of their best options for generic removal. Unfortunately for Leviathan Dragon, it didn't get much love from Konami to keep it relevant. You can't rank Leviathan Dragon into anything relevant, and it didn't have any main deck cards that helped it out over the other Xyz monsters. So when it started to fall off, it fell off hard. Even at the time, the card did have competition. Cards like number 52 Diamond Crab King had a very similar effect, though that's a rank 4 and didn't permanently gain attack, rather just setting its attack at 3000 for a single turn. This did make it better in very specific situations. For example, if you needed to get rid of an Apocryphal Towers, Diamond Crab King could beat over it after a single turn, while Leviathan Dragon would get destroyed by its effect before you do anything useful. The point here is that Leviathan Dragon wasn't necessarily the absolute best at what it was trying to do. So as more options became available, less and less players wanted to rely on it. By the time we get to Link Monsters, no one was really interested in Leviathan Dragon anymore. Not because it was a bad card, but because you could just be playing cards that were just so much better. Leviathan Dragon is in a very similar spot to Utopia, except unlike Utopia, it didn't get any support to keep it relevant, causing it to quickly go from a fixture of the metagame to a complete afterthought. And at number 2, we have Goyo Guardian. This is a level 6 Earth Warrior Synchro monster with 2800 attack and 2000 defense. It required any tuner monster and any non-tuner monster to make, and we'll be getting back to that shortly. But it also had the effect where if it destroys a monster by battle, you can special summon to your field and defense position. It's worth pointing out that this was released in the very first set with Synchro Monsters, Duel's Genesis, alongside the likes of Stardust Dragon and Black Rose Dragon. The bar for a powerful Synchro monster was a lot lower back then, and Goyo cleared that bar and then some. In fact, Goyo Guardian was at the time of release the strongest Synchro in Duel's Genesis thanks to its combination of stats and effect. The reason the card is so strong is very simple. Goyo has a massive attack stat, one of the strongest of all of the Synchros in that set, only being out by Nitro Warrior with its effect active, which allowed it to destroy almost any monster by battle. This pairs great with its stealing effect, which allowed you to build a board while simultaneously taking away from your opponents. That's probably enough to make the card sound pretty strong by itself. But the more you look into it, the stronger it gets. The monster you steal isn't just a body on your board. It can be used for tributes for further synchro plays. Making something like Stardust Dragon can make trying to actually out Goyo Guardian a real headache. The worst thing about Goyo, however, is the fact that it's really difficult to play into. Anything you do that doesn't destroy the Goyo outright is pretty much a bad play. Set a monster in defensive position, Goyo's going to steal it. Normal summon, it's getting stolen. Make a synchro? Well, about half of those don't do anything, and have less attack than Goyo, so he'll probably just steal that too. Doing nothing isn't really an option though, because it has so much attack, you'll be out of life points in a few turns. Goyo really puts your opponent between a rock and a hard place, as if you don't have a good out to Goyo, it's very difficult to not lose the game in just a couple of turns. This was so strong that the card was banned for some time in the TCG. The card is now legal at 3 copies, but not in its original form. It has now been errata to require an Earth Tuner, which essentially killed the card overnight. The number of good Earth Tuners in early Synchro era is extremely limited. The best tuners were cards like Debris Dragon, Plague Spreader Zombie, and Spore, all of which are very powerful and not Earth attribute. Having to skip out on the best tuners around was enough to kill the card when it finally came off the ban list, which is a real shame because it would have been fine at that point in the game. Goyo isn't an example of a card that was simply power crept out of the game, it unfortunately was hurt far worse than was necessary by Konami themselves. And at number 1, we have Blaster, Dragon Ruler of Infernos. This is a level 7 dragon monster with 2800 attack and 1800 defense. It is the effect where if it's in your hand or grave, you can special summon it by banishing 2 fire or dragon monsters from your hand or grave. However, during your opponent's end phase, if this card was special summoned, it bounces back to your hand. You can discard this card and a fire monster to target one card on the field and destroy it. And if it's banished, you can add a fire dragon monster from your deck to your hand. but you can only use one of Blaster's effects each turn, and only once that turn. This is a member of the Dragon Ruler archetype, of which there are 4 in total: Redox, Tempest, Tidal, and of course, Blaster. Each of these monsters has a different attribute, and has all the same effects with the attribute switched. However, they do have unique discard effects. Redox Monster Reborn something, Tidal's effect is identical to Foolish Burial, sending a monster from deck to grave, and Tempest allows you to add a dragon from your deck to your hand. We're bringing all of these guys up because they all sort of share the number 1 spot on this list together, as they're sort of a group deal. The Dragon Rulers were the core of one of the most oppressive decks Yu-Gi-Oh! Has ever seen, only dodging the Tier 0 distinction thanks to spellbooks being similarly broken. The deck was able to make ridiculous amounts of advantage by discarding the Dragon Rulers for their own effects, banishing them for other Dragon Ruler effects, and adding more dragons to your hand, discarding those dragons for other rulers, and then using Super Rejuvenation to fill your hand back up after all is said and done. The discard effects of the Dragon Rulers allowed you to either
I don't have all of my lifespan to do
your
this.
opponent's board, and the bounce back to hand effect basically didn't matter, thanks to being able to convert them into Mecha Phantom Beast Draco Sack to generate even more advantage. We're only really scratching the surface of what the deck could do here, as the deck was very flexible, and had a lot of options for
to do something very important, which is
how many
try
effects all
to
the rulers had, and
have
how many
everyone
options
have
for
equal
searching you
level.
had between their banishing effects and the baby rulers, which could discard themselves in a dragon monster or a monster with their attribute to add one of the dragon rulers directly from your deck to the field. The deck was so good that all of the dragon rulers had to be banned, and it was the opinion of the majority of the community that they would never be able to come back. However, they're now all at 3 in some formats and even at 2 in the TCG, and there's no issue with them. So what happened? Well, the main issue is that, in addition to being power crept, the Dragon Rulers are kind of slow. While they do generate a ton of advantage, they usually do so over the course of several turns. You discard them for value, then either resummon or banish them for more value on your next turn. With cards like Mad Knight Circular, Snake Eyes Ash, and Ice Raziel, which can let you go plus multiple cards at advantage in a single turn, while also having a good long game around, the Dragon Rulers just aren't all that scary anymore. The Dragon Rulers have had one of the biggest turnarounds of any cards, going from terrifying to just so laughably underpowered that even with future support coming out, most people are pretty sure that they're not going to do anything. This dramatic fall from grace easily makes them the number 1 boss monsters that age poorly.
Good night, then. The guest book is here. Good night, then. The guest book is here. Oh, good night, then. The guest book is here. Oh, good night, then. The guest book is here. Have a nice day.
Let me ask you something personal. Have you ever experienced any form of anxiety in your life? Small or big, doesn't really matter. If you have, I'm sorry. I personally, over the past year, have been dealing with it in many ways. And the first time it ever really happened to me where it became a problem was about a few months ago at the time of this recording. And it was utterly dreadful. My body would feel cold. I could primarily feel my feet for the most part. It's a different sensation than feeling your body regularly. Your body feels like it's in pain, but it really isn't. It's the added sensation of being petrified, or in a constant state of fear, and you can't explain why. It is a feeling that I would only wish upon my worst enemy. The climaxes were terrible, and I had to constantly wait it out till it had to do with my body until it left. It's not some boomer joke to a millennial. It's real.
Wait, did I...
It's scary. It quite literally holds you down, and you are at its mercy to it. However, you get over it. The time
Okay, I
actually
do.
comes healing,
God damn it.
and your body is
Whatever.
able to recover from
I need potions.
it. In my case, I was able to will it out of my body, just constantly reassuring myself it's a physical issue and you can overcome it. And luckily for me, and in the current months since that happened, I've been pretty good for the most part. However, there is a thought I had to myself a while back, where, what if it never ended? What if the peak of your anxiety was the constant? Like, you're not faking it. It's literally happening to you constantly at its peak, 24/7. It never ends. It never has a low. It's always constantly at a high. To me, on a very super real level, that is probably one of the most terrifying things a human can experience. The fact that you will never know peace again within the comfort of your own. Yeah. The locking of an emotion at its climax is a terrifying ability if one could possess it. And in Purple Haze feedback, either to your delightment or your fear, the author, Kauhe, gave this power to a very terrifying individual. I present to you the most terrifying stands, Rainy Day Dream Away, and the stand user, Vladimir Kokak. And oh, by the way, hello, my name is Metas. Shit. Walk with me. Now, we're going to do this a little bit differently than I usually do with the most terrifying stands. I have a formula of how I do things, but due to the nature of Vladimir being an official non-canon character, that is, shockingly, at the time of me recording this, is getting a English release of a JoJo's Japanese novel, the first of its kind, by the way, I hope we get more of it. I will be changing the format in more than one way, meaning that I'm answering the question that probably popped into your head once I dropped his name. Who the hell is Vladimir Kokaki? Now, where our story begins with Vladimir is during the Battle of Sicily during World War II.
I read the novel, a fan-translated version of it.
By the Allied forces, in classic World War II fashion, the Axis powers started to take out people they thought were traitors and or spies. Vladimir's parents would be killed off screen, and as himself and his sister were running away, sadly his sister would be gunned down. Losing blood fast, she would begin to hallucinate, thinking that she had lived a full life. Simultaneously, within that moment, Vladimir's stand would activate. Within a minute or two, Rainy Day Dream Away would give Vladimir's sister 80 years within her head, dying peacefully with a smile. Now, while the book doesn't really state it, it can be inferred that this moment establishes what Vladimir believes for the rest of his life. That dreams and reality are more or less the same, but in order to achieve either of those, a person must be part of a whole unit or group, because fortune almost never rarely benefits the individual. You also see this within Jimi Hendrix's song reference to the stand Rainy Day Dream Away, as the song tries to tell you even though one thing is happening, that doesn't mean another thing that you want to happen can't happen. Just because it's raining doesn't mean that you can't have fun or relax, giving credence to the idea that dreams and reality are more connected than you think. Will you be listening?
Farewell.
That dreams and reality are more connected than you think. Because of this mindset, it more or less leads him down the road of joining Passion years later. Now, why does a powerful stand user like Vladimir even join Passion to begin with? The book doesn't actually specify why he joins Passion, however, we can infer the fact that he gets boatloads of money from Diavolo because of what he does with his group is more than likely the answer to the question. Vladimir wanted that goddamn bag. Makes sense, he grew up in a small village. Being wealthy is probably one of his younger dreams. Now, what he does for Passion during this time is very interesting. He is a drug smuggler, more or less, or drug trafficker? Drug maker? It's a mix of all three. His stand group allows him to make highly addictive narcotics. Because of this, it makes Diavolo wealthy, and Passion wealthy, and himself wealthy. To such a significant point that Vladimir can virtually do anything he wants. However, in me saying that, you're probably wondering, well, wouldn't Diavolo as the boss of Passion check him? Well, I'm going to quote something for you, and it's going to put your jaw on the floor. Even Diavolo decided he was better off negotiating an alliance than using his stand to keep him in line. He's experienced, a veteran, survived far more fights than you. Morello to Fugo. You heard that right. Diavolo would rather negotiate than actually try to check Vladimir with King Crimson. Vladimir and Rainy Day Dream Away are no joke. They are some pretty serious contenders for being main villain level threats in the JoJo universe. Looking at Rainy Day Dreams Away's stand stats makes it plainly obvious how powerful the stand truly is. Blocks an idea, emotion, or sensation. Covers an area like a misty rain and can target anyone in that range. Once locked in, they can never escape. Somebody with a minor illness might fleetingly wonder if it will kill them. If that is locked in, it will. It uses the opponent's own mind against them, and no amount of distance between Kokaki and his targets will ever free them. On a surface level analysis with no power scaling and not a lot of deep thought put into it, that ability is absurdly busted. If Vladimir were to fight Johnny Joestar from Part 7 and Johnny was in a state where he did not feel confident about his spin ability, that idea would permanently lock in. And if it's a younger Johnny, for example, like a TUS Act 1 Johnny, chances are he won't be able to progress to TUS Act 2 because of Vladimir's abilities. Or maybe Koichi and his confidence problem. Vladimir locks in that Koichi doesn't feel confident about Echo's Act 3, and now he's in a constant loop of where he thinks he cannot beat Vladimir. A bigger one. In a hypothetical fight between Yoshikage Kira and Vladimir Kokaki, Vladimir locks in Kira's constant obsession with trying to keep his identity a secret. In doing that, Kira does not want to fight Vladimir whatsoever because he does not want to reveal Killer Queen or his serial killer tendencies. Now, for the most part, I've just been giving the idea of locking in an emotion or an idea, but of course we are forgetting about sensations here. Actually, within Purple Haze Feedback is a great example. Vladimir Kokaki locks into sensation on Fugo that he feels unbalanced, and because of this, Fugo cannot properly balance himself and chase after Vladimir. Fugo, in this moment, minutes after being locked in, figures out that only a greater sensation can temporarily stop it, and in doing so, hurtles himself up into the air and crashes on to Vladimir, killing him. However, though, to point this out, Vladimir only did this because he needed information out of everybody he was fighting in the current moment, so there was no killing intent. If Vladimir wanted to finish off Fugo, he could have in that moment. Remember, Vladimir is the guy who was able to simulate 80 years worth of life for his sister within 1 to 2 minutes. Vladimir could virtually do anything he wants to you because of your mind. A simple mistake could honestly lead to tragedy. To emphasize that even more, looking back on the feat he did with his sister, he was able to simulate over 700,000 hours of human existence within 1 to 2 minutes. In a scenario where he is trying to kill or defeat another stand user and the situation allows him to, the enemy stand user could be placed into a loop of thinking about a possibly bad future or past events, something similar to Abakio, ultimately losing to a guaranteed loss condition because of your own trauma, thinking about the future or the past. Or if you just think about it randomly, giving Vladimir all the time in the world to defeat you. And being a stand user with by far the most stand experience in the entire franchise, his previous sister feat could possibly even be magnified or shortened if he were to choose so. However, that is a little bit of speculation on my part, but it is pretty obvious in the main series that older stand users are deadly because of their experience. However, though, Vladimir has experience and stand power by his side, making him very unique for JoJo's. And on top of all of that, if the situation and its conditions allow him to, he could instantly kill you with Rainy Day Dream Away. This stand is terrifyingly busted, and then it's ultimately worsened by the fact that even if you somehow run away from Vladimir, that feeling will never ever leave you until Vladimir dies of natural causes or something like that. Now, going back to the start of the video, this is why I find this ability so terrifying. I personally can get over my fears, my anxieties, all my, mental issues. So, ability so terrifying. I personally can get over my fears, my anxieties, all my, mental issues through time. But somebody like Vladimir could easily destroy me or any stand user with the same problems that I have. This ability would utterly cripple anybody, making their mind a prison of their own making. Looking back into the book, Yyyy can't defeat Vladimir Kokaki because she herself believes that she cannot beat him. Because of this mentality, Vladimir is virtually impossible to stop. I could not personally overcome anything he could throw at me if that was the case with me. To be at the constant state of being at your worst because Vladimir locks it in is something that a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, just in JoJo's and in real life, could not overcome. Look at the requirements of beating him. First off, you have to somehow beat your current sensation or idea or emotional state with something even greater just for it to revert back. So in that small moment, you have to somehow counterattack Vladimir, who, mind you, has a weapon on him to defend himself, as his stand isn't really built for combat like that, and successfully defeat him in one shot. And that only works if somehow your thing is overcomeable. You could be trapped in a genjutsu like his sister was way back in the day, or you could feel like you couldn't be able to defeat him, so you're like Yyyy and you're basically locked out of beating him. So it is really up to what Vladimir chooses with Rainy Day Dream Away and what he locks on top of you to see if you can even potentially win or beat him. Because the reality of the situation is, pun intended, can lock away your chances of beating him if you let him. As dumb as this sounds, there actually might be a win condition in some of his matchups. That is basically, if you have a bad mental state, you lose. Basically giving him a guaranteed victory.
He wouldn't be able
Like,
to
the
do
idea
anything
of
against
Vladimir
Koishi.
putting me
I
away
just
into a
realized.
constant anxious state is so...
Can't lock in any emotions if
It's on, like,
you
I
can't
have
think.
no mouth, but I have to scream levels of, like, oh my god, in terms of fucked up. Now, switching up from the personal horror effect that Rainy Day Dream Away could do to you, and looking in-universe, Vladimir Kokaki is very, very powerful, and should be considered one of the strongest stand users within the original universe, if we're counting non-canon stuff, like Purple Haze feedback. With a statement that says Diavolo would rather negotiate than keep him in line with King Crimson, says an awful lot about what Vladimir could do. Remember, Diavolo, thanks to the Winter JoJo magazine, is stronger than Part 3 Jotaro and Part 3 Polnareff. Mind you, these are some of the strongest stand users in the entire franchise, having speeds in the range of massively faster than light, and having some of the craziest abilities and best battle experience the franchise can offer. Hell, on a technicality reading into the Winter JoJo magazine statement, it even kind of implies that Diavolo could even take on the Part 4 counterparts of Polnareff and Jotaro, who are stated to be even stronger than their Part 3 counterparts. Now mind you, that's the same Diavolo that does not want to fight Vladimir, making this all a pretty insane chain scaling feat for Vladimir in post. Now, you can argue it because it really is just a lot of glorified statement scaling, but if that's up your alley, Vladimir is definitely a contender you can put within the JoJo universe that could win a lot of hypothetical fights, due to the genjutsu / psychological torment he could do to his opponents. And as I say it out loud, honestly, Vladimir Kokaki versus Joe Dio might be one of my favorite matchups I do want to do here in the near future. So, what can you take out of this? Well, for the most part, we all deal with mental things on a day-to-day basis, and you can get through it. If I can get through it, I know definitely you guys can too, but I know it varies, but I think you can. I believe in you. Another thing, Rainy Day Dream Away isn't real. You'll never have to fight Vladimir. Maybe. I kid. However, though, when looking at Vladimir and his character, I do kind of agree with the idea of partnering up with people in order to achieve something better as a unit than an individual. I think this is core to a lot of things in life that I think a lot of people have forgotten about over the years. I wouldn't be here without you guys. That's how this whole YouTube channel works. It only works when you guys want to work with me. So I do think there is some truth in the fact that it takes more than one individual to achieve some type of fortune in one's life. So with that all being said, like, comment, share, subscribe, consider following on Patreon, stay hydrated, and I will see you in the next one, ladies and gentlemen. Deuces.
Have a nice day.
Oh, you. You're ordering. Order up. City development, huh? Anything else you need? Sure. Later.
Welcome. Here you go. 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 Thank you very much. Welcome. I'll take good care of them. I'll take good care of them. Thank you very much. Well, okay. Good night then. The guest book is here.
Pretty sure if I max this out, it's gonna be like 100% or something. I haven't seen if there's a skill simulator thingy for Etrian Odyssey Untold 2 yet. So I have no choice but to just guess. But I very much think that pre-provoke at max level is a good idea. Ooh. Only the user though. How does this work?
The guest book is here. Have a nice day.
What do you need? What will you do? Registering a group? Done. Farewell.
Welcome. The guest book is here. Have a nice day.
Cool. Okay, the levels go to level 20, which tells me a lot. Which tells me a very important thing about how Grimoire Stones work. Which, speaking of, I forgot, I probably should adjust my Grimoire Stones, because I got quite a bunch. Of course, that's fine. Dun 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 dun. Okay, wow, holy shit, I deal no damage in expert difficulty. I don't have any War Edge skills. Unless these count. Oh! I don't know why, but Veil feels awkward to have at the front. I was under the impression I'd prefer making my healing choices first. Oh, what am I gonna do? She's at the front.
Oh, you. Right, okay. Anything else you need? Later.
I forgot to set up my Grimoire Stones again. You know what? We don't really need them yet, you know? Well, maybe we do. Oh, cool. Provoke activated. Also, I meant to fight the deer. Whatever. Guess I'll stick to expert difficulty. Forgot about the
Take a
quests.
seat. All right. Which one you thinking? This one, huh? All right. Which one you thinking? This one, huh? Say what? Good luck. All right. Which one you thinking? This one, huh? Good luck. Keep at it, all right?
Oh, you. You're ordering right, okay. Anything else you need? Later.
Welcome! Huh? I'll take good care of them. Ah, could I help you? Yes? Thank you very much.
Oh, you. I'll keep an eye on him.
I still... There's no grimoire synthesis.
You want to equip? Later.
Welcome. Good night, then. The guest book is here. Have a nice day.
What do you need? Registering a group? Who's on duty? Consider this carefully. Done. Was there something else? Farewell.
I want to level the XP a little bit. Even it out.
Oh, you. You're ordering the— Order up! Later.
What do you need? What will you do? Done. Was there something else? Consider this carefully. Consider this carefully. Done. Farewell.
Oh. City development, huh? Anything else you need? Sure. Sure. So, what do you want? You're ordering this? Order up. Sure. Huh? Later.
What do you need? Done. Farewell.
Oh, you. Right, okay. Later.
Welcome. Oh, of course. I'll take those. We had some new things come in. Thank you very much.
What do you need? Who's on duty? Farewell. What do you need? Done. Was there something else? Farewell.
Take a seat. All right. Which one you thinking? This one, huh? Sure. Huh? All right. Which one you thinking? This one, huh? Sure. Huh? Keep at it, all right?
Welcome. Good night, then. The guest book is here. Have a nice day. Welcome. Please come again. Welcome. Oh, of course. I'll take good care of them. Thank you very much.
Oh, you. You're ordering. Right, okay. Anything else you need? Later.
Take a seat. This ain't a museum, you know.
What do you need? Who's on duty? Done.
Blood, there's just no winning. I think this is fine. Enough.
Farewell.
Take a seat. Not bad. Huh? Keep at it, all right?
What do you need? What will you do? Consider this carefully. Done. Was there something else? Farewell.
I'll stop at under 4,000. Or maybe just go for 45. We're threading a needle here.
What do you need? What will you do? Done. Farewell. What do you need? Consider this carefully. Done. Was there something else? Farewell.
Welcome. Oh, of course. I'll take. We had some new things come in. Thank you very much.
Oh, you. You're ordering. Order up. Anything else you need? Later.
Teleport isn't even scary. Play Mr. Headless.
Yeah.
Throw him out. Bring
Let's
him
get
out.
more armor.
Take the hero power, put that on the 3-1. Yeah. And then go, I think we're gonna go the 4-5.
4-5 into
1-5.
1-5, yeah.
Yep, and then the 1-2 taunt.
1-2.
Okay.
And just face with everything. You want to value trade anything else?
Yeah, value trade the Buccaneer. Put the Buccaneer
Buccaneer to the 2-1. The
Not
reborn one or the non? Yeah, the regular one?
The non-reborn.
Yeah.
The non-reborn, yeah.
Yeah.
And then just throw the 2-1.
2-1 face. Okay.
Oh, the wrong
Pumpkin
quest.
head in the deck. So weird.
Okay,
More armor, more starship pieces.
I guess just taunt Spirit Guide and just put a bunch of stuff out at this point. I don't think it matters.
Taunt.
You can -2 that their taunt thing, I guess. Or -2 health their taunt.
And kill it. Yeah. Oh, which one?
Oh,
I mean, I guess it doesn't matter.
you're ordering. Order up. Anything else you later?
Yeah.
Does it have reborn?
What do you need?
Come back, but we can then kill it with the Purifying
Was there
Vines.
something
Oh no!
else?
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Purifying Vines.
And now I can get a delicious drink. What do you do when you die?
Okay,
Exit
this is
red
good.
eye.
I'm happy with this.
Dealing damage. I don't care how. I'll figure it out.
Bring the server, yeah.
Give me drinks.
That was a hit to the ego there, but there's
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Farewell.
do we just crash everything and just jam her?
I think so, because we want those death
Take a
rattles.
seat.
Yeah.
What
Up
do you
off.
got
Put
for
the
me?
1-2 in, and then keep the 2-5 because it will still take up a board spot. So put the Buccaneer into the 5-5,
Into the 5-5.
and
Keep the Buccaneer.
what we played so far. What do you think we played so far for Umbra? We played
Does it count? Does the ship count? That's a death rattle, isn't it?
the ship.
Alright.
Did our? But she
Which one
took
you
our
think?
ship.
Oh, she
right?
took our ship, so we didn't. I don't think we. But she did. No, yeah, she took it, so it didn't. I don't think it triggered it.
Sure.
Well, go over Endbringer. Umbra. Let me read what it says.
Five friendly.
Dives.
All right.
Dive.
Yeah, she took it and she killed it.
That's
so
annoying.
That's her minion. So we don't get that death rattle trigger. But I still that unless you really want to launch this ship again,
I'm scared to launch the ship again. Okay.
Hear me out. This is gonna sound really whack, but hear me out. Launch the ship and then play Corpse Explosion.
Oh, and just
Kills our and then triggers the Soulbound Spires and puts it under Endbringer Umbra, so we can just play it next turn and
do
not
it.
have to worry about stealing it. That's
That sounds.
saucy if you just want to wait.
That sounds whack. That sounds whack.
I think we could just wait.
I think we don't need
play
to do
the
that.
Endbringer.
Yeah.
Do you want to just play the Endbringer?
So we're not going to trade the 2-1 because we get 2-1 and then Pumpkin into the. Just kill that off.
No, if you play the 2-1, if you punch the 2-1, it's still going to take up a board spot. 'Cause
Oh, right, because it's gonna
So,
reborn it. Yeah,
there's no
okay.
reason to
There's
use
no
it.
reason to. Yeah, let's just do it. Like we're fine.
All right.
I want to be a bit on the safe side with this.
Oh, that's unfortunate. That's a 10 drop.
Yeah.
All right, just kill the 5-4 then with the plan you had. That was not as good as I thought it would.
No. I mean, it's like. Yeah, it's not really.
We gained more health.
Prolonging our death at this point.
No.
maybe.
Well, this is
Yeah.
wrong, but like, it's fine. What did I get? Get a random Holy and Shadow spell.
Okay.
Start by getting a drink. I want to see what drink I get. Okay.
Okay, lifesteal, sick.
Oh,
Maybe we get our own lifesteal on the board, but I'm not sure.
I mean, dragon, lifesteal. Either way, like,
At this point, we just try to clear their board.
it deals
We only
some
have a couple-
damage.
We only have a couple creatures left, so we need to protect their life to the best of our ability.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
And
Take a seat.
Our life.
What do you got for
Okay.
me? Not bad.
what are you thinking?
Well, we have our own lifesteal card, but I guess
play
it's alright. We already played a set. Well, alright. Do whatever you want.
Huh?
But we're at 1 million.
Ooh.
I mean, that's our way to spend
Alright.
corpses now and start.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Do we just go face with everything?
How much damage are we looking at?
6,
11?
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
All right.
17 if we go face with everything. Right?
I think we just do that. The only thing on her side is she has 4/7 with lifesteal to gain back.
Right,
So
but
it's like,
she has to trade into our whole board.
You want this?
Yeah,
But I mean,
we could also.
I guess we just run around of cards, right? I think it's just better if we maybe value trade. Because if she has no cards and we just spaceship, then we just win, right?
Yeah, but she could take the spaceship. That's what we're worried about. I think you just go face with everything because these minions don't matter. They're not scary enough to like.
No, and we're at 100 health. Like,
Yeah. So
what's she gonna do?
Yeah, go foam render.
Good.
Throw the hero power to the face. Throw everything to face.
Yeah.
And attack the face too.
We got plenty of corpses, so. All right, we just chill, yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else you need?
Hey,
Sure.
Oh, it's embarrassing. Okay. I'm dead.
yeah, I don't have any of those in my hand.
Okay. Let's
So,
hear it.
yeah, I think at this point, we just gotta save our creatures and deal as much damage to them as possible.
Okay, I think I'm just gonna trade this into this.
Oh,
Let's
oh,
get started.
I mean, that's our last creature, but sure. Like, this is it. These are all of our creatures.
Yeah.
Like,
All
And
right.
but I can heal one of them. Like I was
so,
thinking,
but we also, like, we have the health drink, so we could, like, maybe double spell health drink on the 6/6 if you want,
Whoa.
and then just, like,
okay, let's try it.
like, does that make
Let's
sense?
get started.
You can cast this. I can cast it again. Look at my life go up.
All right, it's ready.
Like, these are our, this is it. Look what
This is in fact it. That's why I'm trying to not like trade into these. So like,
yeah,
I
I
can
like
hit
trade,
this, and then I can heal it.
Okay, I like
It's
it.
like it never even got hurt.
Yeah.
Glowing. If reborn. Okay,
Let's
so I'm
hear
just
it.
not gonna even bother with this. Everything else
Sure.
is
Face it.
Face
This is the place it.
is the place. Die.
That's like the worst draw in the deck. To
Yeah.
be honest,
We only have
the
two
last
left.
cards are insane. What's the damage we're looking at again?
Anything
This
else
is
you need?
1, 4, 9. Put her down to 10.
What is
We
she?
can also just corpse explosion.
No, definitely don't do that.
Well, that just clears the board. What else is she gonna do?
Yeah, we can do that.
Why not corpse explosion?
I was saving it for like the
Welcome.
theoretical
Interesting.
final finale. Like if she had anything else, we just wanted to have that.
Well, what else? We know 2 of her cards are basically fake, right? So
Alright,
the other,
okay.
what are the other 3 cards potentially that she could have? She's gonna get like drinks off of these things, and she'll get a 1-cost holy spell.
Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, okay. I'm down to Corpse X. Just throw the 1/1 to face first to get.
Yeah, sure, just for the damage. Yeah. Like, I don't know what else she can have. Like, you would know better than I would.
I'll take
I
good care
can't even
them.
think of anything. So I mean, it's probably fine.
I'll take good care of them.
And now we can just
And,
play the Raptor and just go
power-
face with
Good
everything.
care of them.
Yeah, and then Ancient Raptor, you're gonna want to do actually the plus which one do you want? I think we can get away with +3 attack.
Well, it's gonna die because she has the drink, I think, that can, like, kill it. So-
Oh, so get the plants then. Yeah, the
Here you
plants.
Yeah,
go.
and it gives us more corpses.
And then
so.
5 to face. Yep.
Here
2
you
for
go.
me. All right, Alex.
Who do you think I should buff?
I don't. Does it matter? Oh, does it? It doesn't matter. I don't
I'll
think.
take good care of them.
Oh, it doesn't let you pick. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
Sippy,
you very much.
Sippy. Yes, just
Just
oh,
both of our
okay.
creatures, and I'm
Good
sure
night,
it'll be fine.
The guest book is
I
here.
think I have to heal actually.
All right, heal it up.
Yeah, I think I have to heal because
Have a
otherwise
nice day.
the 5 damage plus the 2 damage plus the 2 damage is death.
What do you need?
Ow.
What will you do?
Airlock.
We have 10.
Yeah.
It's funny.
So we have
Is
10.
there something else?
No, but fatigue will kill. It's 2
have 10.
plus. We have 10.
Oh, yeah,
Yep, we have 10. Fatigue.
Get it in there, bro.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what
Oh
I'm
my
talking
god.
about. Oh my goodness, the Rarin Rivals 2 easy.
Man.
That's what I'm talking about.
Wow. GG's.
GG's.
2 games lost to Overdraw. I'm clearly not the superior gamer. GG, Themo. GG.
I hate to see it.
So guys, that's going to wrap it up for another video. I really hope you all enjoyed. Let's go ahead and shout out the patrons for all their continued support. So shout out to Shadow1317, Tim00x3, MBT Play Madolce, Bodo, Cameron L. Smith, The Synchro Guy, Pony Stark, Little Fayleys, Dan the Man Hoban, Draconic, Brian Dancer of Class 7, Dylan Rare Hunter, JW11860, Flannel Daddy, literally all of the guinea pigs, Cheeks McLafferty, MBT canceled by community soon, canceled on committee soon, canceled by all players soon, Wonder Waffle, Daniel Howell, MBT and Nimnim's One Boxer Brief Fueled Night of Passion, Electrician of the Ice Barrier, The Noble 129, Chris Adams, and Lilimancy. Thank you all again so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Farewell.
Welcome! Please come again. Welcome. The guest book is here. Have a nice day.
Let's see how good this is. My inventory's already full.
Welcome. Oh, of course. I'll take those. I'll take good care of them. Could I help you with anything else? Here you go. 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 Oh, of course. I'll take those. I'll take good care of them. Thank you very much.
Oh, you. You're ordering this? Right, okay. Anything else you need? Later.
Rarin! I have a pop quiz for you, buddy. How many attributes are there in Yu-Gi-Oh?
At least one.
That is technically correct, but that is not the answer I was looking for. I was looking for an exact number. Do you know what an attribute is? I guess let's start there.
Is the attribute... Okay, before I answer the question, remind me. Is the attribute like dark, light, whatever it is? Or is it...
Yes.
Oh, okay. Three or four?
There are 6. Well, technically there are 7, but we're going to omit one of them, because one of them only applies to 3 specific monsters. So for the purposes of this video, there are 6. And so I want to say thank you, buddy, for giving me the idea for this video. I'm going to show you Yu-Gi-Oh cards today, and you have to guess what the attribute of that card is. I did some fun Photoshop work to remove the attribute. You can use anything else on the card to try to figure it out. And we're going to have some fun. You ready?
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's your first one.
Well, come on. Like, surely that's dark, right? Like, surely.
Surely?
Okay, hold on. Let me go through the ones I remember. Hold on. There's dark, there's light, there's...
Okay, there's 2.
There's wind?
That's correct, 3.
I don't know any of those.
So, dark, light, wind.
Welcome.
There's also earth, fire, and water. Those are the 6 attributes. Technically, divine is the 7th one, but that only applies to the Egyptian gods, which we're not going to cover. So you don't have to worry about that one.
Yes?
So, if anything, you've got a 1 in 6 chance of getting it right if you just randomly guess.
Yeah, but that's... I feel like that's...
Thank
Okay,
you
you're gonna
very
write all this down.
much.
Okay, thank you, okay. I mean, surely Dark Magician's dark. I don't know why
Surely.
they
Okay.
wouldn't do
You.
dark.
So, what do you want?
Is there anything else on the card?
You're ordering
Spellcaster
right.
normal? I mean,
Okay.
that doesn't really matter. Ultimate Wizard in terms of attack
Later.
and defense. That doesn't change. Okay, let me do deduction here. It's not Earth.
What
It's
do
not
you
fire,
need?
it's not water. I
What will
don't
you
think
do?
Dark
Who's on
Magician's
duty?
looking pretty windy, so he's not. I'm not gonna win.
Was there something
No,
I
no,
wrong?
he's not. He's
What
not.
do you mean? What do you mean? They're holding their hat so it doesn't get blown away in the wind. What are you talking about?
Oh, you're shut. No, it's dark. It's dark. It's dark. I'm going dark. I'm pretty.
You're correct.
Okay,
You're
okay.
correct. The Dark Magician is dark. I thought it started off easy for you so you can get the concept of the game. And speaking of starting off easy, let's see if you can get this one right.
Well,
Lame swordsman. Okay, well,
Tough one, huh? Tough
like,
one.
surely this is fire, right? Like, okay, let me do
Surely?
deduction again.
Do your deduction. You have a 1
Not
in
wa-
6. You have a 1 in
There's
6
no
chance.
water. There's no. It's not water. Wind doesn't make sense when based on what this card is doing. Light? No. Dark? Like maybe? No. I mean, like I'm probably reading this. So I'm gonna go fire again. I'll go fire.
You are correct. The Flame
Okay,
Swordsman
okay.
is fire. I wanted to
Okay.
start it off just like you did in a recent video. I want to start it off easy for you. But now that's over. Here's your actual
Dark Witch. Let me just copy paste this so I always have it on my other screen here. Okay. Water doesn't make any sense. Fire doesn't make sense either. Earth. Now, what's going on with this witch, by the way? No.
It's kind of a baddie. Kind of a baddie.
I mean, like, you're gonna be the one to say it. I agree. Wind. Okay. I don't think it's light. It's literally called Dark Witch, which makes me feel like it follows the same thing as Dark Magician. But
wind makes sense for a witch, so it could be
Okay.
one or
Why
the
does wind
other.
make sense for a witch, out of curiosity?
Because witches fly? So, I want
Okay.
witch. Dark is interesting,
Why is dark interesting?
because it's called... What do you mean, why? What the fuck?
This is like the mind games, because it's like, how badly am I messing with you?
No, I mean, okay, this is gonna be a litmus test here. I'm gonna still go with dark. I feel like the fact that it's dark in the name is just too obvious for me not to pick dark, so I'll go dark.
Is that your final answer?
That's the final answer.
Let me ask you a question before I reveal it. Do you think this card ever got played?
It's 5 stars. You have to sacrifice something for it to be played.
Would you believe if I told you
Maybe
it
swords
wasn't?
would be
I
better
mean, see, good. I guess everything's possible, but
for Veil to have. I don't
Yeah.
know.
That's
explain.
fair. So, Dark Witch did see a small stint of
Then again,
playability.
we have
The reason
we'll
is
get
because of
Shields
her,
Might eventually as well
attribute and
for our bash
her attack power. Funny
damage.
So, there was, I remember we did a video a few episodes back where I showed you, like, you play 3 of a really good card and 1 of a really bad card. This is one of the really bad cards you would play to facilitate one of the really good cards, because everything about her just matched what you needed for that deck to work. And she had the highest attack, no, she didn't have the highest attack power, because there was a different card. I think it was like her typing. There was some particular reason that she got played like specifically over the other one has like 1900 attack with basically all the same stats. I think it might have been because she was a fairy. Someone can correct me in the comments. But the Dark Witch is in fact not dark. She is a light monster.
What? Oh my god, I thought you were gonna say wind. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay.
Yes, being a light monster was very important because for the Brilliant Fusion, you needed to send a light monster to the graveyard, and she was the best light monster for what you were trying to do with that particular.
What is is it purely for like what? Like balance reasons? Like is it the flavor? Are they drunk at Konami? Like why is it a light? What's going on here?
Shit, I could not tell you. So that is going to set the tone for how this video is going to go. Anyway, you did so well with that one. Let me go ahead and send you your next one.
Alright. Are they all gonna have dark in the name? Dark is he?
I will let you know they will not all have dark in them.
This is the only card in here. I'm gonna read this just in case it gives
Yeah,
me-
you could. Yeah, there might be clues in the text. There might be clues in the text.
If this is the only card you can control during your standby phase, it is automatically placed in defense position. You cannot change the position of this card during this. Okay, that didn't help me at all. The beast? Okay. If it's a beast, it makes me think of Earth more, especially because it doesn't have wings.
Okay.
That's from Hearthstone's.
Zebras do not fly rare, that is correct.
I mean, I don't know. It's fucking Dark Witch is late. Who knows anymore? Hey, Dark is on the. I mean, fucking all of these are on the field now. Like I don't know. Like it could be a light zebra in disguise. Probably not fire. Probably not water. So it's Earth, light, or dark. I'm really gonna do this. I'm really gonna say dark again. It's gonna turn out it's gonna be fucking not even on the list, and then I'm gonna get lost every card.
I felt when you had to guess the mana value of cards.
I mean, like, the main value, first and foremost, if this is your revenge, this isn't even the same league as me, because, first and foremost, Sibo, you have done these videos how many times, and on top of that, you can deduce from how good you are as a card game player, you forgot the mana cost of a Hearthstone card, because you were relatively close every time. Like, what the fuck do you mean? The Dark Witch is light, it doesn't make any sense. There's nothing I can do to figure it. Okay, I'm going with Dark.
You think this card saw play?
It's not horrible. It looks pretty bad.
but the Dark Witch saw play.
Yeah, but the Dark Witch was for light, I guess. So unless it's the same reason, I'm gonna go with no.
Okay.
Actually,
So you're right.
Okay.
He is fat attack. Like, so old Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't want to say Dark Zebra saw like no play. It was an 1800 meter, which like in old Yu-Gi-Oh! Was very good, and there were very few of. It did have a big downside, but if you had another guy, like you could just play Dark Zebra that had no downside, basically.
No, let's
so I don't
do
want
it.
to say this card saw no play, but it saw like very little play in like modern Yu-Gi-Oh! You can play this card. You were correct, but you were wrong. It was Earth. You said Dark. Should have gone with your gut.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, at least I have some kind of idea.
All right.
Oh my.
You have some kind of idea, huh? What do you think about this one?
I mean, okay, it's fine.
Oh, holy shit.
You know,
Costs 29.
I'm still mad
to use this.
Light to the dark. That's a Fire Kraken. Okay. Light. No. Wind. Earth. Krakens are in the water. So
there might be some context clues in the text box.
It does. I see. aqua, and it's a squid that thrives on fire and heat. Obviously, because of the fire kraken. So fire and water actually both make sense for this, based on the card's description. Dark doesn't make sense.
Remember, if these guys have any elemental weakness,
Light and dark is
I'll
hard
just
because this,
go for ice and
regardless
hope
of
for the best.
card. Is light and dark like their, how do I put this? Is it like something to do with them, like their what they are, or is it more like a mind state? Like, are they like in the light if they fight for the lights? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is it? What is it? Is it just random? It might be random. I'm not sure what the.
I'll be honest with you, it might be random. That might be the actual answer to your question.
Alright.
Because, digging up some cards for this video, I will say, it's gonna get very interesting the more this goes on.
God, okay. I'm gonna go with water. Think water. I'll go with water because A, it's aqua.
The fire kraken is water.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes. Krakens are in water.
Well, this one is not, because it's fire.
Oh! Why the fuck does it say aqua if it's fire? What the hell is aqua? Like, what is that? What is that?
That would be its type. It is an aqua fire.
It's fucking 50-50, dude. There's no, like, what do you mean? It's a kraken in water for sure. Like, you can see the water around him, and he's a fire type. Like, what am I doing? Dude, just call them water, fire, water. Okay, whatever.
Did, oh my god, I'm fucking crying. You did so well with fire monsters before. Let's see how you do with another one.
Oh my god, this is so... Dark Fire Soldier, number 1.
Oh, damn it.
Sick abs, bro. Okay.
He's pretty ripped. He's very ripped. Yeah.
Okay, it literally says Pyro on the card, and it says an explosive expert from a special elite force. That's the flavor text. Okay, so let me go through the list here again. Dark doesn't make sense, light doesn't make sense, wind doesn't make sense.
Dark doesn't make sense, it's in the name. Dark fire.
Okay, you're not wrong, but like, compare that shit to fucking... I mean, I was gonna say compare it to fucking Dark Magician, but that didn't apply to Dark Witch anyways. Maybe it's like more in the art that I'm giving it credit for. It's like, I guess you could look at the Witch. If I didn't read the title, I could make the case that it might be for the light. Like, it's a lighter back... I mean, I was gonna say it's a lighter back on the Dark Magician, but I don't think that's the case at all. Oh my god, this is just... What is this? This is so ridiculous. Okay,
I thought you'd like today's video.
Dark seems wrong.
Oh,
I don't know why. I don't like it. I like pyro. I like fire. Maybe Earth, because it's like a humanoid, and like I can maybe see it. The weird, I'm trying to picture like the color of like the icon itself to see if it would match the card. I don't think that's the case though. So
I don't think that's weird.
I'm gonna go with fire type here. But I can see it being Earth. I don't know about Dark. I'm gonna go with fire.
Final answer. You are correct. He is fire. You did not take the bait twice.
Thank God.
I think that is the only one you've gotten correct so far. It's only going to go down.
Hey, I got the first. I got Dark Magician right. Don't lie.
Those were the freebies. Those don't count.
What the
you know that.
Freebies? They're the ones that are like completely random here. Oh my god.
Fun.
You could ask actual Yu-Gi-Oh players to know if they would know this, and I guarantee they wouldn't.
It's funny you say that. I get to you right now. I did actually test this with one of my friends, and I thought this was very fun because they actually struggled with this as well. So
okay, so that just verifies the fact that this is completely random. Oppressed people. It literally says aqua for some reason. Would you say that's their subtype?
That's their type.
Okay, what is an aqua type? Like water? Are they Pokemon? Aqua. Yeah, what does that mean? Like, look at this art. Like, there's no relation between that and the art.
Very funny you say that. Yu-Gi-Oh's great, isn't it?
That's so much. They are oppressed, but believe they will have their freedom someday. That's really nice. Gotta keep it going. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Okay, definitely not light. There's no fucking way this is light. Wind? Earth I can see. Fire I can kind of see. Water? Dark? Yeah, I can see dark. This is pretty dark. Press people, like what the hell? Like they really had no better name for this.
Welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh, my friend.
It's dark. I'm going with darker Earth here. The other ones don't make sense. Okay. Earth makes sense because they're humans. It looks like they're in some kind of castle mountain type. So that's not the case. Well, I mean, it could matter. Oh my god. The thing that is distracting me here is like it looks like the whip is like doing like a fire explosion when it hits him. But...
Okay.
I don't know if that's actually. I think that's just trying to like signify that the whip is actually hitting. It's actually hitting the lash.
I think, yeah, I think that's probably what it's going for.
I'll rip a dark here. I'll rip a dark. I feel like maybe the theme
Feeling dark?
Yeah, I think the theme they're going for is like this is a pretty dark card. I can see Earth though. I'm 50-50 on it, but I'll go dark.
Well, you are incorrect. You should have gone with the aqua thing because it's water.
You're so right. I should have gone with the aqua thing. Oh wait, hold on. I go up to Fire Kraken, and it's not the. This is what the hell? every yo, is this Yu-Gi-Oh card banned? I don't know, Konami. Where on the dartboard did it hit? It's the same fucking.
No, this is the community. We're the oppressed people. Konami's the whip cracker.
Oh, that's true. That's true. It's true.
Anyway, here's your next one.
R.I.P. Edison. What is this? People running about? Dude, are these people human? Like, are they even trying with these cards? What is this? This one doesn't even have a type. It looks so strange with that one.
I removed the type from this one because I thought you would get the oppressed people in so easily, and you didn't. So
You're
now
so
you don't get the
right!
type anymore.
Oh, yes, we had to make this harder for me. Oh, you're so right. People running about. Although they always suffer in silence, they swear an oath to inevitably revolt. I mean, that's wonderful.
This is what you want to be doing right now.
Where are they running? Like, is this the town center? Like, what? Okay, let me go. I mean, do I even go through the list anymore?
You just want to throw a dart at the dartboard?
Can we record this in a day? Let me prime a dartboard here, and then
you don't have a wheel handy that you can spin?
I mean, I could do it online. But you know what? That'd be actually really funny. Hold on a second. Wheel spinner. Watch this get. If this gets right, I'm trusting in the wheel every single time. Hold on.
To be fair, you have a 1 in 6 chance of getting it right.
No. The wheel is right.
The wheel is right.
If I'm going to be honest, though, again, I'm going with the same philosophy that this is Earth, like Earth and or dark. Like, yeah, but Earth or dark. I'm gonna.
Yeah. Interesting you say that.
No, there's no way it's two types. That'd be illegal. Okay, what did the wheel say? Wait, the wheel said it's water. Hold on. What? Okay, I'm going with dark. If it's water, I'm gonna fucking lose my one.
If it's water, you're gonna lose. If it's water,
is it water?
Okay, interesting. Maybe I should show you the type, and maybe you'll change your mind.
If it says aqua, I'm gonna lose my. Like this no way.
Nope. We'll show you the type.
Pyro. So wait, you think it's fire? No, I'm not getting bait here. I'm going with dark. If it's fire, I regret it, but it's fine. I don't think that type has any. Yes. What is it?
I literally gave it to you, and it is fine.
What does that, bro? Like, what do you mean you gave it to me? It does not matter, man.
You're the pyro. What are you talking about?
Oh my god. It's fine.
I'm sure you'll do better on this one.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure you'll do better on this one.
United Resistance. Like, what? The people that gather to swear to fight their oppressors are revolutions. What is this? What's going on here? Who is being
These are actually telling a story, funny enough. These 3 cards are telling a story.
Alright, let me read it. Okay, the oppressed people are getting whipped, they're running about to start the revolt, and then the resistance and this starting the revolt together, the rebellion. Okay, so that means if the first one's water, the second one's fire, that means they can't be water or fire, right? So this one has to be Earth.
It has to be Earth?
Has to be Earth.
That's my final answer. Is that what the wheel says?
Let me spin the wheel. Waiting, hold on. The wheel is going with. It's going with light. Listen. I don't agree with the wheel. I'm going with.
You don't agree with the wheel. All right, here. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna give you the type. I'm gonna give you a chance to possibly change your answer.
Thunder. What? So it's wind. What would you classify thunder like as? It's more of an earth thing than it is a wind thing. It's not like the wind. I guess the wind may like skew the direction of the thunder. I'm actually not sure how those two interact. I wonder if I think the thunder might pierce through the wind. I don't think it really cares what the wind's doing. Maybe I'm wrong about that.
Rarian defines weather patterns. This is going to be the title of this video.
Meteorologists in the comments, can you let me know how the thunder interacts with the wind? I actually have no idea.
Do you think thunder is a wind or an earth?
It's more just like, okay, maybe this is a side tangent here. Like, let's say the winds are going like a 90 miles per hour. Like, it's a substantial wind. Like, if you go outside, you might. A thunder's coming. Okay, the thunder is like, let's just say for this conversation, it just goes straight down. Do you think the wind skews the thunder so it starts going into a different direction? Or like, do you think that thunder's just piercing through the wind and it doesn't care?
I mean, thunder is sound. I don't think it is.
Wait,
it's pretty agnostic to the wind, to be honest.
Wait, but don't you see the thunder? Am I tripping? Like, you see what? Is it lightning that you see?
You see lightning, hear thunder.
I'm gonna be honest, I haven't paid attention to that shit since I was like 6, so... The only thunder and lightning I know is from the movie Cars, my guy. Like, I'm not sure. And I do know lightning comes before thunder because of Lightning McQueen and the other guy.
Okay, you know that. That's true.
I'm going. You know what? I'll go there.
Okay, for that from Cars of all things. You're going with Earth. Well, unfortunately, it is wind. You should have gone with your other instinct. So the story here is that the people are oppressed and they were like lacking water, and then they're like running about because like whatever the the royal people are like destroying their village or whatever, and so then they create the resistance because like the fire got lit up inside them to create the resistance, and now it's like the storm is coming, which is why I'm literally just making this shit up. But basically,
it sounds like it is.
Like
it sounds.
I mean, that's basically the shitty Yu-Gi-Oh lore that we have on some of our cards sometimes. So I thought you thoroughly appreciated that. Anyway, this is going well. Let's see what you think about your next card here. This is going to be very interesting.
What the fuck is this atrocity on my screen? Element Dragon? This monster gets the... Okay, it's a dragon. Okay, dragons are notably with fire. Actually, I get that. That's not necessarily true.
Very interesting you say that. Read the card.
Monster gets the following effects while there is monsters with the following attribute or attributes on the field. Fire this card. Okay. Hold on. Stop for a second. If that... Okay... This card is fine.
Okay.
Now, let me ask
you... This seems kind of like a Hearthstone card in a way.
Let me ask you a question here. Let's say...
I have questions.
Hypothetically, this card's fire, okay? Or wind, right? It doesn't matter which one. Okay. Does it get the benefit, or is it looking for another monster?
It says, this monster gets the following effects while there is a monster with the following attribute on the field. So that means it would count itself.
Okay. Then we want to balance here for 1 second. It's an elemental dragon, 2,000 attack for 4 stars that you don't have to sacrifice. Pretty good. That sounds really good.
If you want some context, this card is very old. This card is from, I want to say, 2004, so the third year.
With 2,000
And so I would agree with you that if your assumption is correct that it's a 2,000 normal summon, that would be very good.
In a world where like that's the case, I don't think they're printing this with fire. That sounds really good. This card destroys your opponent's monster by battle, attacking it once in a row, so it's wind. Elements is usually 4, which is water, earth, fire. Air in this case would be wind. Water, they haven't said water or earth, so it has to be one of the two. Is a dragon more catered towards wind or earth? Probably, water or earth. Probably earth. Water is not a typical dragon attribute in like any other game. You can't think of a water dragon.
Okay.
Can you think of a water dragon? Like, is there one in like a game you played recently? I don't think so.
That's interesting.
It is interesting, right? I have a feeling this is fire and like.
What did you say? What did you say about not seeing a water dragon in a game anytime soon?
Oh god. When was this printed? Oh, this is 2020. This is that's actually
no. This is a reprint. This was printed in initially DX 2005, the year after Element.
I mean, I'm just gonna rip like Earth here, I guess. I think Earth makes the most sense. I think
so you don't think it benefits itself, is what you're saying. You don't think they gave it an attribute to like fuel its own effect.
See, that's my initial thought, right? Like that's why I asked, because I was like, it could be this could be a bait entirely, and it's just fire or wind, right? Like, do you think fire's really good with the snow? So like that's why I was curious. Wind, maybe.
You said wind here. He's good at Hearthstone.
How does that translate over to? I guess.
Good question.
If we're looking for the type specifically here, like I can see, is wind too broken to have this? This card destroyed your opponent's monster by battle can attack again, once again in a row.
I'll also give you some context here. If there is a fire and a wind monster on the field, it gets both effects. So then it's a 2,000 attacker that can attack twice.
I knew that. Thank you.
I was letting you know in case you thought it was only like one or the other.
All right. We'll rip wind. I'll try wind, but let me what the wheel has to say first.
I was gonna say, what's the wheel have to say?
The wheel is putting up with. Oh, it's going with Earth. Ooh, the toss up between me and the wheel here. But you know, I'm gonna try. You know what? I'm trusting the wheel. Let's go with Earth. I'm saying Earth or Wind. I'll believe in the wheel here.
You're gonna believe in the wheel? Alright, well, the wheel led you astray. It is a light. As a
Oh my! What do you mean? Bro, that's not an element. Well, I mean, in the typical sense. Oh. Okay.
I will say it would be interesting if it did have its like own attribute to like fuel one of its own effects, because then it's like if it gets negated, it loses that effect. But I think it'd probably be too good in that instance. But I say too good. It probably wouldn't be that good.
Oh.
Or incorrect. You're incorrect. I'll help you out here. I'll help you. This one, you're definitely gonna get this one. I believe in you. If anything, the wheel will get it. I'm gonna help you out here.
Is the confidence angle? What the fuck? Orca Mega Fortress of Darkness. Jesus Christ, what is going on there? Is the lair of the fortress inside the whale?
It's the whale is the fortress.
By
I have like
attributing- It looks like some Dr. Evil type shit. I don't know if I've seen Goldmember. It's kind of reminding me of that. Attributing 1 torpedo fish on your side of the field, destroy 1 monster on the field, and attributing 1 cannibal spears, shellfish on your side of the field.
I didn't
destroy
get
1
fucking pricked
didn't really
this
help me.
time around.
It's a sea serpent. Like, I mean, the immediate obvious ones are dark and water.
Interesting. Okay. What's the wheel say?
Let me spin it. Wheel is saying. I think the wheel's gonna say. Let's figure this out. The wheel is saying Earth once again. Earth? I don't think
Interesting.
Earth helps.
Interesting for a whale that's Earth. Okay.
I mean, it's a mammal. Like mammals are kind of earthy. If you think. Wait, no, wait. Are whales? Yeah, whales are mammals. And what whales? God, this is so stupid. I mean, it's not. There's no way it's fire. There's no way it's wind. Like, you tell me this shit's wind, I'm gonna make the call. I'm gonna go with water. I think water makes like the most sense. But
Okay. That makes the most sense, but like has
no, it has not. It has not. Yeah, I'm going with water. I mean, it's a fucking. It's a goddamn whale, bro. Like, what else would it be? Like, I guess dark fate trump.
What else would that be? Interesting question. Is that your final answer?
Yes. Yes. Dark. No.
You're going
Water.
dark?
Water. I believe in Konami.
I'm glad you do. Orca Mega Fortress of Darkness is in fact water. You got it correct.
Oh my god, fuck me. Okay. So stupid.
This is fun. I know why you did this now. This is great.
Oh my god, there's no deduction. What do you mean? Okay, it's fine.
What do you mean you're having a great time? Next one.
This is abuse for the record. Rapid Fire Magician. Someone help me, please. Rapid Fire Magician. What? Okay, Rapid Fire. Okay, does that mean like actual fire? Or does that mean like they're firing quite fast? Right? That's a weird one.
Tell us. That's a great question.
Inflict 400 damage to your opponent each time you activate a normal. Okay, so that's rapid fire. It's not like actual fire. But he kind of looks like he's in this realm of like fireness. Is there red in there?
Realm of fireness.
Well, I was gonna say like seen Stranger Things?
No.
Okay, for people who have season 4 Upside Down, where like Vecna's from, it kind of reminds me of that. You should watch that show. Yeah, it's pretty. It actually looks like it too. It's kind of weird. So that makes you think fire or dark. There's no way this is light. There's no way.
There's no way it's light.
Earth? What is this guy doing, by the way?
He's just juggling his balls.
Is he holding something to juggle the balls with, though? Like, looks like he's holding a stat, so these images are, like, rather small, so I'm trying to, like, zoom these bitches in.
Yeah, with the images are not great, especially because I had to Photoshop them, so I apologize.
So they aggro only when I'm in combat.
I'll go dark. I think dark makes sense.
Why do you think dark, out of curiosity?
Dark has, like, okay, just specifically for the art style, the vibes are completely dark. Like, it looks like this guy's fucked up.
Okay.
Dark Magician, who he kind of looks like, was also dark, but I also think the fact of, like, throwing, or, like, I guess whatever this thing is, at your opponent, means, like, you're using dark magic, is what I'm going for here, so.
So you think the balls are dark magic instead of fire magic?
Yes. You're so...
What does the wheel say? What does the wheel say about this?
You're so shocked about it.
Out of curiosity.
They're calling it water. I don't think it's water.
Okay, alright. You're correct. Rabbit. It's dark. You got it. I'm impressed. Magicians, like, don't want to say all the time, but like a lot of the magicians in the game are probably dark.
I miss
type
Vulcan
of
stance.
capacity.
Why did they have to
So,
remove it?
You did not take the bait on this one. The fire being idol, so I'm very impressed. Good job.
It's either the most useful or the
Like, what are you
least useful
complaining
skill
about?
for Gunner,
Thank you.
depending on who you ask,
Anyway,
honestly.
next one.
How the hell? What? First and foremost, what the fuck is this?
It's an air orca.
Air. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. I was trying to pronounce with like the R, like starting the second word. Or the
He
second,
sounds drunk.
Oh, like Aeroka?
Yeah, that's what I was going with.
Yeah.
Now that you said that, that makes a lot. Air orca makes a lot more sense. Why didn't they put a space? Okay, whatever. Sea serpent once again, so that makes me think it's water. Once per turn, you can banish one fish, sea serpent, or aqua type monster from your hand. Then target one face-up card your opponent controls. Destroy the target, then banish this card until your next standby phase. Okay. That doesn't really help me, unfortunately. Last whale was a sea of who the sea serpent was also aqua. This guy's got like red kind of scales on it though, which is giving me a little weirder vibes. It's also like I feel like his fins are kind of like wings, and that makes more sense because it's an air orca, right?
Yeah, of course.
So now I'm in like classic. See this in air orca?
It's an air orca. Yeah, I see the.
Now I'm thinking about the fact that this could be a wind.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
why would it be a wind is the better question. I guess it kind of
That's a great question. That's a great question. Does it make sense?
No.
You said you were going to quit if it was wind for the other one.
Yeah, but now this one makes more sense. It's got the wind vibes.
This one makes more sense, you say. Okay. Alright. I'm with you.
It's got the wind vibes, right? Like, because now it's got wings. Or fin wings, or whatever you want to call them. Things.
Fin wings, okay?
Yeah. Okay, you can banish one fish, sea serpent, or aqua type monster from your hand that target one face-up card your opponent controls. Would it want you to? I mean, I don't think Yu-Gi-Oh really cares if an aqua type targeted its own thing. I'm gonna go with wind. I feel like if they made it an air orca, like they would follow that typing, right?
I think they would, huh?
Surely.
That's your final answer.
Yeah.
Air orca. Do you think this card's good, by the way?
I think it's
This card's
actually
not
not.
cheap play. This card's not cheap play.
It's like it kills a monster.
In like sealed or like limited, it's like fine. But like in terms of like actual play, it's pretty easy to play. However, you're correct. This was a swing. I'm very happy that you managed to pick up on that one because I was hoping you would rage quit. In any case, good luck with this one. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I'm locking in. I'm putting in my talent soon. Oh god. Hungry Burger. Classic monster.
Classic.
Warrior and Ritual. Can Ritual summon this card with a hamburger recipe? Okay. Lots of interesting. So, what is a hamburger? Hamburger is a bun. Well, in this case, it's a bun, tomato, lettuce, meat, another piece of lettuce, and heat. So let's get the obvious ones out of the way. There's no way this is wind.
No way it's wind. Okay. What is your assessment that it's not wind? Just out of curiosity.
There's no wings.
No wings. Okay.
I don't see that.
But how does it move?
I would imagine that it kind of pushes off the base of itself and it kind of like hops.
It just hops?
Yeah, like
a frog?
Kind of like how, like a frog's a good example of that. It uses its bottom bun as leverage to get some air. And it carries the momentum for it. It probably takes a while for it to get started, but once it's going, it's hard to stop, so.
Okay.
That's what I'm assuming here.
I'm with you.
You ever seen like a mimic chest? You ever see one of those? You ever
Yeah,
Dark
it's like
Souls
one of
stuff?
these. Yeah, it looks like a mimic. Okay, I can see it.
That's what I'm thinking. Which makes me think that this isn't like a fire, water, wind kind of guy. Like it's like a dark or a light.
It seems like a dark or a light. Okay.
Maybe Earth.
You have
But
business
I mean,
at
you
the
know,
All
all
the
the
things on it come from the earth.
That's what I was thinking.
Do you
That's what I
have
was thinking.
business here?
But like, if I'm thinking magic
Please
here, which I
look
think
after
dark and light
yourselves
seems
in
to
the
be some kind of
labyrinth.
magic relation,
I await
I
your
think Hungry
triumphant
Burger would be more
return.
dark than light.
What do you need?
So
Seems
I'm
more dark than light.
I'm gonna go with dark.
you.
And we'll go from there.
Now, the main question: what does the wheel think? Because that's what everyone cares about.
Don't take
So true,
unnecessary
Omar.
risks.
People,
Was there something
I don't know
other-
about your community. The people in our community love wheels. Anything
Take
with
a
a
seat.
wheel, oh, people lose their mind.
Wheels are
What
fun.
are you up to?
It picks fire. It's not fire. He's coping.
It's not fire.
I'm going with dark.
It's going with dark. Final answer.
Final answer.
I think you may have cracked the code, Rare. You are correct. Hungry Burger is in fact dark. I thought maybe you think it's Earth, just because, like, again, all the things
You
come
gotta
from
be
Earth.
kidding.
So I thought that'd be a fun one for you. But you did not take the bait. You did not take the bait.
Thank you. I'm cooking.
You are cooking. I mean, you're cooking a hungry burger, apparently. All right, next one.
Banisher of the Light. It's a fairy type. Any card sent to the graveyard is banished instead. That's kind of a cool effect.
This card's actually very old. This was like a third set ever printed, actually.
Did that see
So, yeah.
play? That's a cool card. We'll text
I want to say no. It saw like maybe very, very little play early on because it is a 2000 defender.
I have a lot the actual effect doesn't matter. Okay.
I mean, because in early Yu-Gi-Oh! There wasn't as much crazy graveyard stuff going on yet, so I think this card, like, just, it's kind of more of a victim of, like, it was not printed at a time where it was, like, useful. But I don't want to say it never saw play. In, like, very niche instances, it probably saw some play.
I got you. Okay.
Because, like, it took a while for the graveyard to become, like, super central for Yu-Gi-Oh! And so, like, without that, like, this card, he's a wall, if anything.
Okay, I'm starting to realize, I scrolled up, any humanoid type. Oh, never mind. The fire fucking guy's fire.
What were you gonna say? Any humanoids like dark or light?
Yeah, it seems like that's the case, but I have to take it back. So that's all. Okay, let me go through the metrics here. Banisher of the Light. That would be my first idea. Would be dark. That's like I guess the inverse of light.
Should make sense. I agree with you. Yeah.
Fire doesn't make sense as a banisher of the light, because fire is like also light, so why would they want to banish it? So I don't think that's the case. Water doesn't make sense either, unless I'm legitimately thinking that water like extinguishes fire, but I don't think that makes a lot of sense. I'll get back to it. Wind? No, there's no way it's wind. He's not flying. There's no unless he like where is this guy? Any context of where this guy is? He looks like he's in a fucking.
He's in the void apparently.
Okay, the void.
I don't know why old Yu-Gi-Oh cards just have like this like gaseous miasma in the background because it's just some like some random like auto-generated crap that they use for the background of like everything. Like look at Hungry Burger. Look at like you can look at all these old cards. Like all the backgrounds like are just like they're like nothing. It's just like random like. It's just like a void. All these cards are just in the void.
Okay, so if he's in the void, I mean that doesn't help me with the wind idea, but I don't think that's what.
Helps you with the dark idea. Helps you with the dark idea.
True. Okay, it's light, dark, or earth for me. Really,
down to 3.
Really don't think it's earth. Doesn't make sense. I feel like all these like I'm gonna call them elementals. I'm not sure elemental types. I'm not sure dark and light really is considered an elemental type.
I get what you mean though, like the 4 main elements.
Yeah, I wouldn't put that with what this guy's doing. This guy's doing some magic. Now, it's either like, is it Banisher of the Light, somebody who uses light magic to stop
other light magic?
Yeah. Like, in order for you to do that, you need to know light, so that therefore he's casting light magic.
Okay.
Because Priest in Hearthstone does use holy spells that deal damage, but it's not as often as, like, shadow spells. But they're still there, same as Paladin. Paladin uses holy spells in order to deal damage as well. So I could see it. He also kind of looks like a priest kind of guy.
He kind of gives that vibe. Yeah, he gives it to you.
All right, you know what? I'll go light.
Or I was gonna say, what's the wheel say? That's what it is.
The wheel is going with Earth. I don't trust the wheel here. No, there's no way.
Don't trust the wheel here. He doesn't trust the wheel.
The way that
Final
you
answer?
said that, it was kind of making me want to trust the. No, I'll go with light. I think like maybe light.
All right.
Yeah. You
Which one
are
you
correct.
Oh my god.
He is in fact light. Holy
This one, huh?
shit!
Say what?
I thought that one was gonna trip you up. I thought you might think it was like Earth or something like that, but no, it is in fact a light monster. Which is like again, it's so weird how many things are like counterintuitive to the name of them. But I think it's like you said, it's like he's a priest who knows light magic to banish the other light magic.
That's what I was. Yeah, exactly.
And also like the effect to like kind of like purify the graveyard by like banishing everything. That seems like a very light type of effect.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. See, like you were like you were complaining so much, and now you're like getting all of them right. I guess I need to make them harder. Anyway, here we go.
Ultimate Obedient Fiend.
All right.
Okay.
Which one
This
do you
card
think?
can only attack if this card is the only card on your
This
side
one,
of the
huh?
field. This card is the only card on your side of the field, and if you also have no cards in your hand, the effect monsters that this card destroys are negated. Why would that ever be relevant?
The second part of the effect?
Yeah, like you would kill it anyways, no? I guess if like it had some like if it goes to like the graveyard or something like it.
Yeah, so if there's any like graveyard trigger, it negates that.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so like there's plenty of cards in old Yu-Gi-Oh that say when this card is destroyed by battle, when this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, so if Ultimate Obedient Fiend kills those effects don't trigger. Which is actually like
Well,
pretty
I'm
good.
counting
There's
on
like
ya.
there's like a couple other cards that do that, but it's not a very, for my
What'll it
old Yu-Gi-Oh
be?
standards, it's not a very common line of text. So that is actually like quite valuable to her.
Okay. No, I
Keep
get
at
you.
it, all
This is
right?
a very expensive guy. Okay, so I'm gonna ultimate.
Oh, it's you guys.
A fiend makes me think of a demon. Demon is related to Warlock and Hearthstone. Warlock is mainly shadow spells and spell spells, but both of them are dark magic. In terms of the actual elements, air, I mean, okay, water does not make sense for this, there's no way. Fire, potentially, demons do like fire.
Okay.
Okay, let's hear it.
Like, it's not like, it doesn't look like an elemental being, so I don't like earth. Air, kinda, or wind, sorry, doesn't look windy. There's that weird, like, blue ripple, which makes me think it's like electric, which is why I'm holding back on, like, wind.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
But I don't think that's the case. Light doesn't make sense. Warlock is not. If I'm basing this on, it seems like Hearthstone classes like kind of give me some idea. Warlock has literally no
Oh,
spells
I
that are like
see.
considered light magic or holy magic. So
Okay.
I think it has to be dark, but I could see fire, but I could
We'll
also
try making
somewhat
it
see
with- let's
earth
get
and or
started.
wind, depending on what. I guess wind. Wait, hold on a second. What do we give the last
All
group
right,
that had
it's
like
ready.
electricity involved?
Which one had electricity? But United Resistance was a thunder type.
Yeah, that doesn't help me though a ton. No, this is. I don't know. I want to go dark. See what Bill's saying. Hold on, man.
I think dark makes sense. What's the
This
horrible
one,
wheel
huh?
telling?
No wheel.
I think the wheel's like. What's it say?
Saying fire.
Interesting. Okay. The wheel so far is 0 for.
We'll try making-
however
let's
many
get started.
cards. So,
Uh,
the fire was in
All
your
right,
fire was
it's
in your short list.
yeah, but I just don't. It really doesn't look like if I'm thinking Warlock minions here, like Warlock actually has a decent amount of fire spells, so that's the thing.
Oh, does it?
This one,
Interesting.
huh?
Oh yeah, because there's like
Hellfire.
Fire.
Soulfire is also a fire spell. Yeah, like
We'll try
there's a
making-
lot.
let's
There's
get
a
started.
lot of. It's weird. I think I have to go with dark here. It's like the only one that makes like
All
any
right,
sense.
it's ready.
It looks so darky. I don't think this is going to be light, so I'll go dark.
The wheel prophecy has come true.
Is it actually fire?
I thought you were gonna get it. I thought like as soon as you were going down the fire route, I'm like, oh shit, he's gonna figure it out. Yeah.
That is a toss up. That is a toss up. That is
Yeah.
a tough one to do because like it
That
does.
is a tough one.
Now that I'm comparing it to Hearthstone though, or the Hearthstone classes, or I guess Warcraft, like in general, like it does seem like they actually thought these things through. Not sure about the
A
actual.
little
like,
bit. Yeah.
revolt.
Anyway, here's your next one.
Dark Bishop Archfiend. It's another fiend. Once per
We'll
turn,
try
during
make-
the
let's
same
get
phase, you
started.
may pay 5,000 life points. This is not optional. When this card is destroyed,
All right, it's ready.
Card effect that target. It's an Archfiend monster you control. Roll a 6-sided die and negate the effect. You roll a 1, 3, or 6, and if you do, destroy that card.
That seems like a Hearthstone type card.
That has, by the way, that has dark all over it. Like that looks like a dark card.
I mean, it's dark in the name.
I mean, you're not wrong, but look at this guy. He screams Warlock.
So this is like arguably one of Yu-Gi-Oh's first archetypes. I don't know if I ever showed you these before. These are the Archfiends. They're all based on chess pieces. So this is like the bishop. So like it's Dark Bishop Archfiend. You can see in the background there's a chessboard. So all the Archfiends are like there's like a pawn, there's a rook, there's a knight, there's a queen, there's a king. And so this is like one of the first like unified like decks, if you will, that Yu-Gi-Oh ever had.
There are all these Archfiends
We'll try
look
make.
like
Let's
this,
get started.
with red eyes.
They do. All the art does look like this.
Okay,
I
so
don't know.
again, I can go through the list
Something's
here, but I
missing.
think it looks so dark that I'd be shocked if it was.
We'll try
Like,
make.
this
Let's
guy
get
looks
started.
like if you looked at a picture of Gul'dan, who's like the main portrait from Warlock, like
I don't
he
know.
almost looks like he's his brother.
Something's missing.
And look at his scepter, bro. It's like
This one, huh?
it is like a. Nah, it's gotta be dark. I'll go dark.
Final answer?
Like it could be fire, I guess, because it's a fiend, but I'll go dark. The wheels had fire, by the way, so if it's fire,
The wheel said fire again. Interesting.
dark.
Let's get started.
What? Why? Like what? That one legitimately is too
I
random.
don't know.
What the hell's a
Something's
smelly
missing.
At
monster?
that point, right? Like that has to be. They're like, oh fuck, if this is dark, it's gonna be so
Whatever.
stupid, right?
So the Archfiends are interesting. If I recall, and I'm
Let's hear
actually
it.
going to try to look this up while I yap here because I think this is correct, but I want to make sure
Well,
I am
okay.
correct. I think for some reason all of the Archfiend cards are all different types, and I don't know why that is. So like the Rook is a light, the Pawn is an Earth, the Bishop is water, the night is wind. They are all different types, and attributes.
Will this be
and I
okay?
have
Then
no
let's start.
reason. I do not understand why that is the case. Because like to me, this screams dark. And to you, it screamed dark, and for whatever reason, it's a fucking water. So
Wait,
I thought
so
it was very fun to throw.
Is it not balancing? Like,
Doing this then?
is it actually just because they felt like every
All right.
archfiend should be a random type? Like, is
I'll
that
keep
it?
an eye on him.
Gotta be honest with you, I have no clue. I will tell you, even if this entire deck was dark, it would still be bad because this deck is not
I'll
good.
keep an eye on him.
Huh.
So it's like you could maybe argue they were trying to balance it so that everything wasn't dark because Yu-Gi-Oh does love their dark monsters, but I gotta be honest, I have no idea, and Konami never gives insight into the design process, so we will never know the answer as to why
come
Dark Bishop
on.
Archfiend is a water.
I wonder if they had like a quota to fill, you know? Like they need a certain amount of like different types, or sorry, attributes, in like a set that they release.
Maybe if anyone in the comments knows why Dark Bishop Archfiend is a fucking water, please let me know,
Doing
because
this
I would
then?
love to know the reason. Anyway, here's the next one.
Gale Lizard,
Later.
or is it Galley Lizard? I think it's Gale.
Gale.
A reptile flip effect.
Welcome.
Flip trigger one monster, but it chills or turns into your hands. Okay, so let me
You like bouncing?
Arcane Light don't make sense here. It's like an
I'll
elemental
take
kind of
good
creature.
care of them.
It is flying, so wind's already up there. Water, nah. Fire, nah. Earth, I
It
can
is
see.
a reptile. It is a reptile.
What do reptiles have to do with?
I don't know, like what are...
Thank you for
saying
choosing us.
reptile.
Thank
I'm
you
giving
very
you just
much.
information, that's all.
I don't.
You would never overlook information.
You know, I've
Take a
never, like, to be honest, like, I've never really
Not bad.
did a lot of research on reptiles. My mom was, like, super against it, so, like, even if I wanted to get one...
She was
like,
super against you
Sure.
researching
No,
reptiles.
like, so for instance, you know what a gecko is? I've always thought geckos look really funny, and I've always wanted to have a gecko, but
She wouldn't let you have a gecko.
she
Keep
would
it,
never, like,
alright.
she's not a pet person. Like, we had cats and dogs and stuff, but, like, she was not, like,
Not like an exotic pet.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
unless it was, like, for maybe a specific animal for, like, a school
Welcome.
project, I don't think I've ever really gone out of my way
Welcome.
for reptiles, but reptiles are, like, really interesting if you think about it. As far as I'm aware, reptiles have nothing to do with fire. There's,
Okay.
like, the Komodo dragon, I guess, but I don't think that thing's breathes fire. Water,
Thank you
like,
very
yes,
much.
there are water
You should be
reptiles.
careful handling the
alligator
goods. You could
reptiles
get
considered
really
one.
hurt.
I'm not really actually 100% sure
I
what
think
about
it's a reptile.
Could I
So,
help you with anything
because
else?
that sits in water, then I can maybe see it, but this one doesn't look like it sits in water because it's flying. It's fine. You could confirm it on this, but I'm pretty sure alligators
Here you
don't have
go.
fucking wings. So that makes me think that I don't think reptiles are casted magic. In Hearthstone, this would be a beast. And beasts don't typically have magic abilities. It'd be
Here
given
you
a
go.
hunter. And hunter's usually not the most. Like, he uses, like, he has spells, but they're like weapons. Like, they like deal damage with like a bow or some shit. So this immediately makes me think it's earth or wind. Now the question ends up being,
Here
would I
you
lean
go.
more towards a flying lizard being wind type? Yes. It
What
would.
does the wheel say? I can help you.
But the wind's not doing shit. Well, it's,
The wheel's gotten one thing correct.
it's here for your
Which, to be fair, you got wrong. So don't forget that.
It's going dark, bro. The wheel's drunk. You got lucky.
Here you go.
I want to go with wind. What is that gale? Can I look up what a gale lizard is? What is a gale lizard? Like, what is?
Well, I don't think you
I'll
find a
take
gale.
good care of them.
Gale is like, you know, a
Thank
gust
you
of
very
wind.
much.
So,
Oh, is that actually what it is?
yeah, like you never heard of like a gale warning?
well,
Like if you live...
Okay.
No,
I've legitimately never. Can you use the word in a
Then.
sentence? Like, I want to hear what you.
The
What you
guest
like.
book is
the
here.
wind.
yeah, no, it's like,
Gale
there's a gale warning, like go inside, because like it's like it's a type of it's like a classification of like weather for wind specifically.
Maybe I've heard of it. I've never paid enough attention to it, but
If you don't live like where there are gales, you may have never heard.
Have a
Yeah,
nice
because it's like
day.
you have to live in certain areas for that to be.
I mean, I haven't watched like weather or like the news in like at least 50
Oh, don't worry, we know that based off of the earlier conversations we had.
Oh, you.
Video.
Gale lizard. I mean, that makes me think it's wind then. You're telling me it's a type of.
Or my God.
I mean, dude. Like, if it doesn't.
Would I ever do such a thing? Would I ever?
ordering
Well,
dinner.
you would, but
Okay.
I don't think you would lie about the definition of a word.
Anything else you
I
need?
am,
Later.
I am not lying about the definition of a gale. I am not. I will give you that. I'm being truthful.
Alright, we'll go with wind. We'll go with wind. It makes sense.
Take
It
a
also
seat.
like the art like
Alright.
looks like he's flapping
one
his
you
wings or
think?
some shit. So
This
He
one,
does look
huh?
like slapping
Sure.
swings, but
I like
yeah.
oh fuck!
Keep at it, all right?
all that
I don't get it.
all that
Like,
effort.
What do you
All that
need?
effort. I tried to help
What
you.
will you
I
do?
tried to help you, but take it. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I kind of get it because it's
Was
like a
there something
lizard.
else?
Like lizards are like, you know, it's like gales, like, you know, it's like a storm. I don't know. I think this should be.
Who's on duty?
I'm with you. Like, it's like some of these things just make no sense, and that's the fun of this because like you can try to rationalize it or like logically deduce all you want,
Don't take
but
unnecessary
you'll never
risks.
figure it out. And speaking of which, the next one.
Iris, the Earth Mother. Okay. After a chain with 3 or more link
Don't
resolves,
take
draw
unnecessary
1 card.
risks.
The
Who's
effect
on
cannot
duty?
activate if
Done.
multiple card effects with the same number active energy.
Farewell.
Oh,
So like, for instance, in like Magic, if there was a stack of like you play a card, I play a card, you play another card, that would be like chain link 3 for us, so that Iris would trigger.
But, so, hold on, though, based on the wording, though, if it was like 3 different cards, but then I played the same card again twice, it looks like it wouldn't resolve. Is that true?
What's really interesting about that is that if you play, let's say you go play a card, play second, like I play a card, so that's the second card, then you play a third card, and let's say I play a 4th card that is the same name as the 3rd card. For whatever reason, the chain does not recognize that multiple cards are being played with the same name, and so it still works for some reason, but I don't know why.
Your game is so fucked up.
So I'm gonna give you a bit of context here. So we have a deck called Chain Burn. So literally, the entire premise is building stacks or chains, and there are certain cards that say, if, like, this card is chain link whatever, you deal that much damage times, like, 400 to your opponent. So if you get the card to, like, chain link 5 or 6, it deals, like a quarter of their life to kill them, type of thing.
Okay.
Not bad.
But, like, so when a card is looking at the chain, it's looking at the cards that were activated before it, and it's not counting itself, which is, like, a weird thing. So, depending on the circumstances, that may or may not work with Iris.
Keep at it, all right?
Okay.
I just probably fried your brain. I'm sorry.
It doesn't seem very intuitive.
Oh.
That's why it's like
You, okay?
It doesn't.
Let's hear it.
Precisely. That's Yu-Gi-Oh! At the end of the day, it's never intuitive. It's relevant because there's a. I'll show. Hold on. I'll show you another card. This is not for you to evaluate, but this is like the card that it matters the most with. So give this card a read.
Accumulated Fortune. Activate only as chain link 4 or higher. Draw 2 cards. You cannot activate this card if multiple cards / effects with the same name around the chain.
Anything else you need?
So accumulated fortune is basically pot and greed if you're a chain link 4 or higher. So this is playing this type of deck, and so what happens is if you
Order
go
up.
chain link 1, chain link 2, chain link 3, chain link 4. Let's say all those cards are different. Let's say you play accumulated
Later.
fortune as your chain link 4. You're allowed to play a second accumulated fortune as chain link 5, only because it doesn't
What do
count
you need?
itself when it's looking at the chain. It's looking at the 4 cards played before it. So even though it's
Is there
like
something else? Farewell.
multiple cards and effects in the same chain, it hasn't counted itself. So you couldn't activate like a 3rd accumulated
Welcome.
fortune because now there's 2 accumulated fortunes
Yeah,
in
I
the
get what you're saying.
chain. Yeah. But again, it's not very intuitive to understand that, but for this type of deck, that's like very important to know, because otherwise like the deck is like completely different.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
these cards are from the same set, for the record. This whole set was based on like doing stuff with chains, and they were all these cards were pretty much unplayed, except for like accumulated fortune because it draws cards.
You know what's really interesting is I was gonna go look at accumulated fortune to see what type it was, and it just says striker. I've never actually like looked at that before, so that's
Something great. Congratulations.
Alright, Iris the Earth Mother. Okay, let me think this through. In Hearthstone, what class
Please
would this
come
be
again.
associated with? Probably Druid.
She looks like a druid card.
I can't think of another one. Druid just makes sense. Druid interacts...
Priest, maybe.
Maybe. Like, fairy
She had
type...
like this like angelic look to her, and she's a fairy, so like.
Fairy types are... Druid.
Oh,
Maybe a priest.
okay.
Maybe I'm trying to think of like
Welcome.
100 but I don't think
Oh,
100
of
one.
course.
I think it's
I'll take
maybe.
those.
I can see it because it's like the earth.
Yeah, I
I'll
think
take
Druid
good
makes
care
the
of them.
most sense. Druid
Thank
I
you
would
very
Druid would be
much.
considered with nature, mainly.
Uh,
So that makes me think Earth. I can
welcome.
also see Fairy, though, being like a light monster. Also,
Okay.
because the effect is casting a spell, or like casting something to draw a card. That might be a little bit of a reach. I mean, I say that in that video that literally makes no fucking sense for majority of these cards, so I can still see. I can see
That's
light.
why it's
I
fun.
I can. I can see late.
I'm just saying, this is the equivalent of you making me guess cost, like, just straight up.
I am going to disagree with you, good sir. I'm going to disagree with you. I think you're a good enough card game evaluator that you can deduce what mana cost would cost in Hearthstone. You can get the ballpark.
And I thought you were a good enough player to figure out what the attributes of these cards are, so it's equal.
Okay, sure.
I thought you use your 5,000 IQ to deduce Konami's decision making for why they make Dark Bishop Archfiend a water.
You put it like that, I'm such an idiot. Where's the Earth in it?
Guest book is
She has fucking Earth in the name. No, I'm going light.
She has Earth in the name.
I'm going light. I'll go light.
You're going light.